Thank you for joining us on BoI Weekly. I am Jomi Otaigbe. This week on the program, it's all about an indigenous oil and gas distribution company, Falcon Corporation Limited. Falcon is a strategic partner in natural gas development and energy deployment in all sectors of the economy where natural gas can be employed as a driver of economic growth and industrialization. In its 25 years of existence, Falcon Corporation acknowledges how much the Bank of Industry's intervention funds have helped the company carry out effective delivery of its services. We have details for you in a moment. Nigeria has around 202 trillion cubic feet of proven gas reserves, plus about 600 trillion cubic feet of unproven gas reserves, and that's going by figures from the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation. But despite having the largest gas reserves in Africa, only about 25% are presently being used or are under development. One of the oil and gas companies doing their bit to reduce gas flaring in Nigeria is Falcon Corporation Limited, a wholly indigenous organization which started operations in 1994 under the trade name of Falcon Petroleum Limited. The managing director of Falcon Corporation Limited, Professor Joseph Ezigbo, traces the company's journey into Nigeria's gas industry.
We've seen the wastage. I, for one, thought it was criminal that a country like Nigeria, so blessed with gas, because Nigeria is not an oil country, it's a gas country with little drops of oil. And I was wondering why, at that point in time, we were virtually burning away about $2.8 billion every year. And I said to myself, that wasn't acceptable. Because then my research showed that other countries will insist, first of all, that you show a program for utilizing the gas before you can even drill for the oil. But Nigeria, it was the other way around. You drill for the oil and you flare the gas. It became a burden, so to speak, in my soul. And even though I'm not an engineer, I'm a medical parasitologist. My area is onchocerciasis, river blindness. And I had lectured at Nsukka for 25 years. And I thought it was criminal, really, for this country to waste so much energy, so much gas, pollute the environment with so much pollution, that I thought we could do something about it. Initially, we were new entrants into the oil and gas business. We knew nothing about engineering, and so people thought we were jokers. But we knew that in our heart of hearts, we had this belief that we could make a change. It was that change that drove us all the way through until it took 10 years of our moving into oil and gas. After writing all the papers and making presentations to government parastatals and all, to Shell and everybody around the place, to be able to, then we were thinking of using gas in Aba, but it failed. And God Almighty knows why it failed, because maybe if we got a chance, opportunity at that point in time, would have failed. But be it as it may, 10 years down the line, we got a crude franchise.
In 2006, Falcon achieved what the company describes as first gas and has since deployed a wide network of gas distribution pipeline across Ikorodu Natural Gas Franchise Zone in Lagos, Southwest Nigeria and its environs.
We started the pipeline construction in 2006, you understand, and our line is not actually steel. It's what they call polyethylene pipes. It's a high-density polyethylene, it's like a plastic pipe, but it's a high-density one. It's a very strong pipe. In 2006, that was when we started what we call phase one. It's divided into phases. We have phase one, we have phase two. Phase two came along in 2010-11. So, and we had about, let's say, like 20 what they call field engineers then. Then we have about three project engineers. Then we have the site engineer. Then we have the engineering manager that managed the entire project, you understand, from Falcon Corporation.
We have a 25 million scoff city gate station from where we pump gas or transfer gas to our industrial customers in that area. We have in place about slightly over 70 kilometers of gas pipeline in Ikorodu. We have customers cutting across different industrial sectors. So we have customers in steel business, fast consuming mover goods. We have customers in packaging. We have customers textile. We have customers who use the gas as feedstock.
How to satisfy these customers and expand operations propelled Falcon Corporation to seek funding from the Bank of Industry.
Bank of Industry, that's BoI, they've been very supportive to our business. Some time ago, in 2010, we needed money for our facility at Ikorodu, that's the city gate station, and we needed about 496 million, about thereabout, and it was granted us, and at a very cheap rate, of course, when compared to what the commercial banks are doing. And I think by June also, in 2012, we were able to pay down that. I needed further loan of about 350 million, which was also granted to us and was paid down, about 2-3 years later. Recently, that was like 2017, we also got an approval, and of course, was disbursed to us in October 2017, 200 million. We needed to extend gas to one of our customers. Our business were into piping of gas to customers, and we needed money to execute that project. And 200 million was also granted to us, which is still running. And the interesting part of it is that these loans are normally disbursed at a very cheap rate when compared to what the commercial banks are doing, about 10%. And of course, when you compare that with what the banks are doing, you will see a huge, positive variance in terms of the interest rate. And of course, what that tells us is a reduction in our finance cost, which of course will affect our bottom line positively. We also have applied for about 2.5 billion naira for our facility in Port Harcourt, which has also been granted, though we are yet to start drawing down on it.
BoI, they were God sent. I'll put it in simple terms, God sent in the sense that when we got our franchise, we partnered with Capital Alliance. They gave us the first breath of life in terms of funds availability for us to lay the gas pipelines to within a corridor. At the moment, we have about 80 kilometers of tennis gas pipeline crisscrossing the entire corridor town. When they were exiting, because we had a clause when they moved in, they took 40% of the company. We had an agreement that when they exited, we were going to go to the market. Unfortunately, at about the point in time they were exiting, the market crashed, so we couldn't go to the market. And we needed funds for expansion at that point in time. And that's how we got information that there's possibilities of us getting funds from BoI. So we approached BoI. We had a long negotiation with them. But the good thing was that they were thorough, they were understanding, they knew what they wanted, they knew where they should invest, and they knew what they wanted. If you ask BoI today, I think we're one of their best customers. And they are also one of our best financiers. We are ethically so set up that we make sure that our word is our bond. And we've also found a partner in BoI, their word is also their bond. And then we bonded together.
With this financial backing from the Bank of Industry, Falcon Corporation is now making inroads into other areas in the gas industry.
We're diversified away from natural gas into LPG, cooking gas. They've just given us another fund to build up our LPG tank farm in Port Harcourt. The dredging and sand filling is ongoing at the moment. Piling should start hopefully by next week, and then we are going to now agree finally with them to start drawing down. We're looking at by the end of this year to be able to set up the LPG tank farm in Port Harcourt. You probably ask me, why LPG? Why are you going from natural gas to LPG? Our natural gas business is flowing. We are simply expanding it in Ikorodu. We're also looking for elsewhere that we're going to expand it. LPG is not available in the East. When it's available, it's so high, the cost is so high, and because of the initial cost of utilizing LPG, most people don't use gas in the East. Because of the second, the infrastructural deficit that is responsible for the lack of the product within those areas. That's what triggered our tank farm in Port Harcourt. We're building a 12,000 metric ton tank in Port Harcourt. The first phase is a 4,000, which we've just started now. We've bought the tanks. The tanks are at the moment in Port Harcourt. We'll simply transport them to, once we finish some filling and piling, we'll transport them and then mount them. By the end of the year, we should start. But now the BoI, they've given us money to do this.
The management of Falcon is also planning to go further with the distribution of liquefied petroleum gas, LPG, in other parts of Nigeria.
No, but I don't think anybody has thought about deepening LPG utilization in Nigeria. And we've worked out a system now to deepen it in. What are we planning to do? We intend to come to the East, go to all the major towns in the East, starting from Port Harcourt, to Owerri, to Uyo, to Calabar, to Umahia, Owerri, Aba, Onitsha, Obosi, Oba, Mbo. Come to Oka, come to Enugu, Abakaliki, Nsukka, and we're going to build three refilling plants in each of those. Approximately, we're taking the first 10 towns. We build two refilling plants. That gives us about 30 refilling plants. We will build it. And then we'll find people who will take it on as franchises. We'll franchise it to them. What does that do for us to start with? There's an umbilical cost of relationship between those refilling plants and our plant in Port Harcourt. That is one. Two, it means that we are able to have a hold on the pricing and be able to drive the pricing down so that the people in the rural communities will afford it. We're also planning to get cylinders, which we're going to deploy to ensure the cylinders will try and drive down the cost to a level that will be acceptable to the woman, to the lonely woman in the village, and then drive it down there so that LPG becomes the first choice of use in homes. Because not only is it cheaper, it's cleaner, the heating level is higher than you can think of. So these are plans we have to try and drive this in. This is only one part of our expansion program that we think we can partner with BoI. And I must thank BoI because they are standing behind history, something that is bound to happen, something that is bound to increase the economy of the entire East, something that will drive satisfaction for the people, something that you can do to permeate the entire population in the East, not only in the East, because we also try, from there, we also want to go to Northeast and be able to drive it through Northeast. We're also planning eventually to be able to truck LPG through the Niger up to Benue and then focus on the Northeast and North Central. That's our target eventually, as far as LPG is concerned.
Starting your business shouldn't be a scare when you have the right support. Support that helps you grow. Support that helps you expand beyond borders. And this support extends to every single person on the value chain, all the way down to the leaders of the next generation. At Bank of Industry, we believe that supporting one is supporting all, with a system set up to provide financial and advisory support for growing and large businesses. Visit any of our offices, website, or social media pages to get in on how you can benefit from this today. Bank of Industry, transforming Nigeria's industrial sector.
While partnering with the Bank of Industry is very important to Falcon Corporation, continually meeting the needs of its customers and enhancing their operations are priorities.
Before we came in, they were not actually using gas in any form. What they were using was what they call LPFO, low power fuel oil. You understand? And you know, it's very dirty, and it produces a lot of carbon dioxide. And so when we came in, all that changed. And apart from that, then it was a bit expensive for them to get that. You understand? You know, we need to transport it all the way from Apapa or whatever they're going to get it from. But here we are here close to them, and gas is cheaper. And it actually helped them to even, like most of them, when we came in, they never knew what they call gas generator or turbine. They can even produce their own power. Yeah. But when we now came, all that changed. Because I remember one of the customers was actually complaining that what they were paying for power generation was so high. But when we came, all that came down to like below half of what they were paying. So it saved them a whole lot of power, energy and cost. So we changed all that. So some people, and they expanded their business too.
Our customers, it's a tight economy, especially now, right? So we can't run away from the fact that things are not easy for business people. So we look at what's happening in industries, we look at the policies that are being generated, we look at how it affects the different sectors, what's happening in the steel business, what's happening in textile, and then we try to put an extra face to it. So we're constantly visiting the customers, we're trying to find out what the issues are. I mean, they call us up directly, we sit with them, we're constantly holding meetings, and of course we have weekly visits, monthly visits, and should it be required, even daily visits. We're always there with them. Our arrangements with these customers are underpinned by sales agreements, so there's a lot of legal work that's also put into it. The business arrangements, constantly studying those agreements, it's also a very busy part. So we're always with the customers. It's very important. Like we say, we're in business because they stay in business.
Staying in business is also made possible by the over 45 members of staff and other casual workers handling operations, and the managing director of Falcon adds to the list.
We ensure that our business stands on 3 legs. 1 is the community, 2 is the staff, and 3 is the company itself proper. Falcon is anchored on those 3 legs. And we believe that our community is part and parcel of our business. What we did about 3 years ago was that we asked them to give us women, enterprising women. They gave us about 50 women. This community, the Obas in Ikorodu, blessed them. They selected Igbos, Benin, Hausas within the 50 women they give to us. And they said to us, these people were born here, they've lived here, so they belong to it, they're part of Ikorodu. They belong with us. So we took them from them, this about 50 people, and we trained them in all sorts of trades, hairdressing, soap making, dressmaking. We took them through a gamut of areas in industry and trained them. This year, we're planning to now take the men. In the next 2 years, we'll take the men and train them carpentry, welding, and all sorts of things. And at the end, we're also going to equip them.
It's been 25 years in business, and Falcon Corporation looks forward to further harnessing and optimizing the energy and economic potential of natural gas around the nation. The management of Falcon appreciates the role of the Bank of Industry in the company's positive growth and shares a few tips with entrepreneurs intending to access BoI intervention funds.
Go and set your home in order. Get your documentations right. You see, the point is simply this. Ask yourself the question. Don't say, what can anybody do for you? What can you do for them? Have you checked your processes to ensure that if you get this money, you can pay it back? Show that this money, you're not taking it just to go and spend it. Show that this money, you can return it with the tiny interest they put on it, so that they can go around everybody else, so that every other person will benefit from it. The moment you have that package, go to BoI. You don't need to know anybody. What is amazing is that with the speed at which BoI is able to look at you, look at your functions, and agree to fund you, and then the time in between the application and the arriving at the conclusion for them to fund, they don't waste time. And I want to thank them, at least the people in BoI, for their selfless service, because in other hands and other clients, it might be difficult for them to say, oh, they think they are funding you, you want to go and become rich, and the rest of them, and then they will restrict it, and then you have to do a lot of unethical things to get it. But the ethical stand has helped us to pursue our own positions. It has helped us to ensure that we can say no to a lot of things, knowing that when we get to BoI, they will stand by us, knowing that we are also, ethics is our first watchword in our business.
The Bank of Industry, BoI, is ready to fund a wide variety of projects that boost economic growth in Nigeria. If you are a small, medium, or large-scale business owner, make a move today and let BoI support you. Visit any of their offices closest to you or log on to their website at boi.ng. You can apply for BoI loans online. Simply download the BoI SME Loan app from the Google Play Store and follow the instructions. Watch previous editions of the program on youtube.com by typing BoI Weekly in the search area. That's our show for today. Thank you for watching. I am Yomi Otaigbe.